and speaking. Have any of y'all ever wanted to do something so bad, you just visualize it, you just know you can do it, you know you can make it into a reality? You could have made one to be on the football team. You knew you wanted to do it when you was younger. Now you're in high school, now you're on the football team. But y'all said y'all want to be nurses. You visualize that, you know you want to be a nurse. So your mission is one day you want to be a nurse. Let's take applause for that for a second. How many of y'all in here come from broken homes? How many of y'all don't have a father or a mother at home? How many of y'all were beat when you was a kid, molested when you was a kid, grew up in a rough neighborhood? How many of y'all have family members that sell drugs or have went to jail or have died or got killed? Okay. I lived in Chester before, I know about Chester. But I'm from a place way, 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 way worse than Chester. So, let me ask you another question. When I walk in here and y'all see me and you see Q up here talking, you see him inside, how many of y'all have already prejudged me? How many of y'all already have an opinion of me? Maybe the way I'm dressed, maybe by my voice, maybe by my appearance, maybe by my tats, maybe because I came here to speak to y'all. Who the hell is the guy coming to speak to me? So you already have these preconceived notions in your head about who I am. But the story I'm about to tell you will change everything that you think about me right now. See, I came from a really rough place. And I didn't have a father there. I didn't really have too much of anybody there. As a child, didn't have a whole lot. Got some love from my mother, and my grandfather was there for me until he passed away. One of the greatest things he ever did was he taught me how to fight, taught me how to box. But because I was in the streets, unsupervised, really coming from nothing, I was beaten, I was molested, I was passed through homes. I didn't have the proper people there for me. I was always exceptionally smart, and I was really freaking tough. And I was taught how to fight, so it made me tougher. She couldn't tell me nothing. I was smarter than everybody else, I was tougher than everybody else. Constantly fighting, constantly getting in trouble. Started selling drugs, started doing drugs. As things started to spiral, I ended up getting into a club one night with someone, and that person lost their life. And I went to prison for a really long time. When I was in prison, my life was still the same. Not much changed. Still getting in trouble, still doing all the same stuff. Extremely violent. I had just got into a fight with 3 guys in a basketball court. I had like a little bit of a black eye and a little cut on my chin, and my hand was pretty swole up. I thought it was funny because I knew that I was a trained fighter, and I knew that I was crazy, and I knew that nobody could do that with me. So me fighting them 3 guys, it was fun to me. No one was coming to see me in prison. This was like a couple days before my birthday when this happened. But guess what? I got called to the visitation the day before my birthday. So I go up there, and my mom's up there, trying to cover my hand up, her glasses on so she didn't see my eye. But she knew. So she cried. And she said to me, she said, "Why won't you change? Why won't you stop? You were always so smart. You were always so tough. You were always so talented. You were always a leader of people. You had all these skills and all these talents, and you just wasted them, and you still won't stop living like this. Why?" That was like an epiphany, almost. Because I had people in my ear all over the place talking to me throughout time. And I never heard anything anybody said to me. I remember being in y'all seats and having people come and talk to me. When they talk, I'm like, whatever, man. You don't know me, whatever. But something about that talk that day. So I went back to my cell. I wrote my mother a letter. And in that letter I said, my story's not done being written yet. I'll finish writing the book the way I want to be written. So one thing I was blessed with is that I was always extremely sharp. So now I used the most important thing that you'll ever be given in this world, my brain. What steps do I need to take, and what do I need to do? So I changed the way that I thought, the way that I talked, the way I dealt with people, the way I reacted to things, the way I looked at life, the way I treated other people. And I asked for forgiveness for everybody that I ever hurt, and I gave forgiveness to anyone that ever hurt me, so I could move forward in my life and let the past go. So during the rest of that time I was in there, I used that time to train my brain, which is the most important thing we have, and to train my physical being. I always played sports growing up, baseball, basketball, football, and boxing. So I always had the athletic background, and I knew a lot about how that stuff worked from being in the gym. So now I took this time to train myself mentally, to study not only psychology books, books about the anatomy, books about life, to teach myself to learn. And I also transformed my body by pushing myself to limits other people couldn't even understand. People would see the way I would train, how I would wake up in the morning, the way I would eat, the way that I would push myself. People couldn't even comprehend it. It was beyond anything you've ever seen on a TV or a highlight show. Training that is unreal. I made myself into a 100% complete soldier. I made my physical being match my mental being. So that way no one could be mentally sharper than me or physically sharper than me. So during the rest of my time, I started to use that time to train others on a physical level and a mental level. So I started to train the inmates, the officers, the staff, and everyone. They would come to me to help them with their problems in life and their physical being, to help change their physical being. So when I came home, I already had a little bit of a reputation for helping people out. People had already started to know who I was. I finished up my time over here at the Chester County Detention Center as a state inmate. That's where I did the last bit of my sentence. I came home, I stayed here in Chester for a year before I moved up to Charlotte. So when I came home, I knew my vision was to help other people. That I've been saved and I've been spared, and my life was still here so I could help change other people's lives and help touch other people's lives. That might sound lame and corny. What is this dude talking about? Let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. You see these two names on my arm right here? This is Ricky. He was shot in the face and killed. This is Schubert. He was shot in the chest and killed. And I was shot. But I lived. They're no longer here, but I'm here. So I was saved and given this chance to do this. Everything that happened in my life had to happen to make me the man I am today. That way I could come and speak to y'all and have y'all's undivided attention. Because if I was just a man that walked up here and started talking to you, what makes me any different than anyone else that's going to walk up here and talk to you? No different at all. I'm just another guy talking to you. But I'm a guy that came from nothing, beyond nothing. The rose that grew up out of concrete. Because I chose that with mental. I knew to do what I wanted to do, my vision to help people, to change people's lives, to touch people, to talk to people, to show them a different way, that I couldn't just come home and be good. I couldn't just go get a job and stay out of trouble and live a normal life. That wasn't good enough to do what I wanted to do. I had to be special. I had to be great. I had to be a leader. I had to set myself on a higher level. That way people would respect me to the point that I could do the things that I wanted to do. So when I came home, I had nothing. A convicted felon. No money, no job, nothing. How do you rise above that? Right here. With a will not to let nothing break you, to rise above it. So I would go to the gym and I would train all morning. I would leave the gym, I would drive to Rock Hill, get up on the roof for 6 hours, get a $100 bill, drive back to the gym, train all evening, go take a 4-hour nap in the car, repeat, do it again. Saved up the money. Eventually got promoted at the gym, got rid of the other job, started building my reputation up. At first people thought, what's up with this guy? He's crazy. He's always in here. He's relentless. He looks like an animal when he's working out. He's always pushing people and pushing people and pushing people. But then guess what? People started to see these crazy results. These people will come to me, and when they would come to me in life, when you're born, you're this flower. But just because you're this flower when you're born doesn't mean you're going to grow to be this big, beautiful bloom. To do that, you have to water that. You have to give it sunlight. You have to change the pot when it grows bigger. These people will come to me and they would be this broken down weed, barely alive, just making it through life, just struggling, working a 9 to 5, hating it. Life is just a struggle for them. They've gained weight, they've beat themselves down, relationships. I would take them and not only coach them on a physical level and get the weight off of them, to get them looking at their best physical form, but to talk to them mentally and get inside their head to coach them up. So you would see the broken down weed that will come to you, and as you water them, give them sun, and replant them, then you see them as the beautiful flower they become. As people started to see this and saw that I was doing this, I started to get more clients, and people started to reach out to me, and people started to talk about me. So I ventured off on my own. I opened up my own fitness company, which is BTBU Fitness. So now not only do I do personal training and boxing training, meal preps, my own clothing line, then I opened up a promotion company, BTBU Promotions. So I've done several events throughout the city, working with celebrities and athletes and people from all walks of life. And I also do the most important thing that matters to me more than anything, is motivational speaking. So I travel around, I speak to different people at different times. So I do different events where I get paid to go and speak to adults. But this is the most important thing. I come to speak to schools and churches and hospitals for free. So I speak to y'all today. I speak at a men's conference, Breaking the Chains, on Saturday. And I speak at Ashbrook High School next Monday. When I walk into a room, I know there's about 30 people total in this room. 29 of you might ignore me and never listen to a word I say. That's fine. But one of you might listen. And it might help one of y'all never make the choices I made. And it might help one of y'all walk a different path than the path you may be heading down. And if that's the case, then that means what I did today was a success. And if it's a success today, maybe it'll be on Saturday, and maybe it'll be on next Monday. Then I saved 3 people. And that's how the cycle goes. Because someone recently said to me, why do you spend all that time traveling around and speaking to people? Why do you waste your time? They don't care what you got to say. Those kids roll their eyes, you're laying to them, they don't care. Every one of them might not care, but one of them might. That's why I do it. Because of my life and what I went through and my purpose is why I do it. And I said to that person, what are you doing to help? Because in my opinion, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you're always just going to turn a blind eye and say, I'm not participating, it's not my problem, then what are you really doing to help? You're just going along with everyone else. So my response to them, when they're telling me I can't make a difference, I'm just one person, how can I make a difference? How can I help someone? By coming and telling my story, by talking to people, by telling people the power of the mind and what you can accomplish with your mind, with your actions. And every time I do that and I help one person, I've helped change a life. So if I change 3 lives in the next week, speaking to 3 different places, I've helped change 3 lives. So my response to them is, how many lives have you helped change? What difference are you making? Are you part of the problem or part of the solution? I didn't come to preach or yell or raise a bunch of cane here. I came to get your attention. See, choices in life lead to habits in life, lead to lifestyles. You say, I can just eat this donut this time right here. I can just eat this honey bun this time right here. I can just eat this piece of cake right here. Those are choices that you're making, which are going to become habits. Those habits become a lifestyle. And then one day you find yourself in a situation, how do I get rid of this? What do I do? You have to undo what you did. Just like you made conscious decisions to put that in your body, now you have to make conscious decisions
not to put those in your body, and to take care of yourself and to train your body. That way you'll be the physical being that you were meant to be. The same thing on a mental level, just as a physical level. If you start to make bad choices, I'm just going to skip school this time. I've only been kicked out of school this one time. I'm just going to sneak out this one time. I'm just going to get high this one time. I'm just going to have sex unprotected this one time. I'm just going to lie this one time. But as those keep adding up and adding up and adding up, now you've developed a pattern, and that pattern has become your lifestyle. And that is now who you are. And one thing that people don't understand is once you develop that pattern of who you are, you don't get to just say one day, I'm tired of this, I don't want to be this no more. I'm done with it. No, this is who you are. This is your life that you have built for yourself. These are the decisions you made to put yourself in this position. It's not just as easy as I walk up and I clean the chalkboard off. That's not real life. Now, you have to take the battle on hand, and you have to literally, step by step, undo your mistakes and change the entire process of your life to get back to where you want to be. That's why I always tell people that I speak to the youth way more than I speak to adults, because y'all have the chance to do it right now. See, everyone starts right here at ground level. In life, you want a nice car, you want a nice house, you want a good relationship, you want a good future, you want a good career. You have to build up. So, if we're all at even ground right now, y'all have the chance to build up. But this is the mistake a lot of people make. Instead of building up, they start to make bad decisions after bad decisions. And they start to dig a hole. And they dig in that hole, and they dig in that hole, and they dig in that hole, and they dig in that hole. But one day you might wake up and decide, I don't want to live this way. What's wrong with me? Why was I making these decisions? Now, before you can come up, you have to dig yourself out of that hole just to make it back to the ground. So you're going to spend all that extra time just digging your way out of that hole before you can even build up. So while you're at a younger age and you still have the chance to make the decisions that are going to set the tone for the rest of your life, now is the time to be mentally aware of what you're doing, your decisions, and your future. I'm not saying that all the answers are going to come to you right now. Hell, I'm still figuring stuff out. And I'm older than Q. I'm not going to tell you my age. But you can start the process of making positive decisions. Going to class, graduating high school, looking for a college to go to, thinking about a career you might want to follow, staying out of trouble, staying away from drugs, staying away from gangs and weapons and stuff. I know all about Chester. I stayed down here for a while. And I come from a place, like I said, way worse than this. I told y'all about what I went through. So you can start, even though everything's not going to come to you one time, you can start that process now. And a lot of y'all in this class want to go into the medical field. In the medical field, you're going to be helping other people. So people are going to come to you for help. People are coming to you with their problems, their sicknesses. They need help. If you're not equipped to help yourself, how can you really help someone else? You have to get yourself right first. And then you can help others. No one wants to go to a doctor or a nurse or a physical therapist or a personal trainer and they look like crap and they're a complete mess and they're struggling to get by. And you look at them and y'all know when y'all go places and you see people and you're like, oh man, they're a hot mess. Y'all know, even at a young age, y'all know that. So you don't want people coming to you and you looking like that. You want to be a leader, an example. If you really want to help people, help yourself first so you can help others. If y'all don't take anything away from what I said in my speech today, I want you to remember this. Every single time you go to make a decision, you know in your head what you're supposed to be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So whether you make that decision to do something you shouldn't be doing or something you know you shouldn't be doing, You already know. Be conscious of your decisions. I'm not saying you can't have fun. I'm not saying you can't be cool. I'm not saying you can't do things to enjoy life. I'm saying be smart about your decisions, because those decisions will impact you for the rest of your life. Think about that. Does anybody have any questions today? You got a question? You good? What about you? How about y'all ladies? Anybody, any of y'all ladies in here got a question? Is that it? All right, so let me say this real quick before we call this a wrap. Q touched on something that we touched on earlier that's very important to me. Believing in yourself. A lot of people will put up fake personas like they believe in themselves. Usually the people that are loudest are usually the people that believe in themselves the least amount. They're being loud to try to convince you and themselves that they believe in themselves, but they don't. True believe in yourself has a quiet confidence. The biggest enemy we'll ever face in this entire world is in this room right now. And it's right here inside of you. It's the biggest enemy you'll ever face is yourself. We are our biggest enemies, and we get in our own way more than anyone else will ever get in our way. If you can conquer the enemy in here, no one out here will ever be able to bother you or touch you. So, when you find yourself in a situation where you ask yourself, can't I or can't I? There's no reason why you can't. The only reason you can't is if you tell yourself you can't. But if you take can't off the table and tell yourself you can't, then anything is possible. Every single person told me I couldn't do what I'm doing. Everybody. No one believed in me except for my mother. No one. But I proved everybody wrong. I was told a story earlier. My dad, a couple weeks ago, told me something that I could not do. It blew my mind. I wrote it down, folded it up, and put it in my wallet, and I won't get rid of it. It is now my fuel and my motivation. It doesn't matter what anyone else believes or what anyone else says. It's the only thing that matters is what you believe. Can you or can't you? Anytime you face yourself in a situation where can I or can't I, take can't out, because trust me, you can. And if you're still struggling internally with the can't I or can't I, this is something that I will do. If let's say, for example, there's a speaking opportunity, and they say, hey, we want you to come down to Atlanta and speak in front of 5,000 people. I say to myself, God, I can't speak in front of 5,000 people. You can say that to yourself in your head, and it might be okay. Say it out loud, now. Tell yourself you can't out loud. Say, I can't go down to Atlanta and speak. You're going to stop right in the middle and say, what am I talking about? I can't. Of course I can. Never give in to saying you can't, because you can. Don't let the voices within beat you down. Instead, let them uplift you. Take control of that inner voice. Take control of yourself. It all starts right here in your mind with your decisions. Man, I hope y'all heard me today. Thanks for letting me come out and talk to you guys. If y'all ever need me for anything, if y'all just need someone to talk to, if y'all want to ask me a question, if you have people in your life that you feel like you can't trust or you can't talk to and you need someone to talk to, I know most people these days are on Instagram. My Instagram is BTBU Fitness. It stands for Be the Best You Fitness. You can look me up and you can follow me. I give you my word as a man. If you direct message me, I will respond to you. If you need help, if you need advice, if you just need someone to talk to, if you want some training tips. All right?